Hello everyone and welcome to another News Coolum video. And we just got a huge 2027 Chevrolet Bolt update. So I guess there are two elements of it, but I'll talk about the less important one first, and then what I think is the bigger news second. And then I'll also kind of chime in because I'm already seeing some people report on this, and I think that they're continuing a cycle of misleading prospective Chevrolet Bolt customers. And I'm pretty sure, I thought we clarified things already, but apparently we did not. I'll just say this. This is, if you are a fan of the Chevrolet Bolt, Bolt EV, EUV, this is great news. If you are a GM EV naysayer, or, hated it, Chevy Bolt EV or whatnot, then you're probably going to be not so happy about this news. First thing is, we got confirmation that the EPA range of the 2027 Chevrolet Bolt is 262 miles. So I'll just pat myself on the back and wipe off my shoulder. I don't know. I kind of estimated it would be something around that. I thought that the 255 miles was conservative. I thought it could be as high as 270 miles or more. And I'll be honest, this is good news, right? We're getting more, but it's not earth-shaking. It's not earth-shattering or whatever. So the new Chevrolet Bolt kind of shares a format a little closer to the outgoing Bolt EUV, so it's a little bit bigger. So that range increase is actually more notable, because what they've done is they've actually provided about a 1% range increase over the outgoing Bolt EV, which was a smaller, sort of lower profile, more aerodynamic car. So they were able to eke out another 1% range even with a bigger format. So, credit where credit is due. But like I said, it just doesn't matter all that much what the EPA range is. GM tends to be conservative. That EPA combined range of 262 miles is pretty much what you can expect in, like, I would say mild freeway driving. 65 to 70 miles an hour, you're going to end up pretty close to getting that 262 miles of range. Higher freeway speeds, it's going to drop pretty rapidly. But like I said, similar size battery pack to the outgoing Bolt EV, but a similar range. A little bit closer to that 4 miles per kilowatt hour that I estimated that it would be. Again, though, that's not the bigger deal, because like I said, if you're going higher freeway speeds, your winter conditions, you're going to lose range, right? So I would say that higher speeds, like 75 to 80 miles an hour, you probably are still going to see that efficiency drop down to about 3 miles per kilowatt hour. And you're only going to be able to go maybe 200 miles reasonably on a full battery pack. But that's where that charging speed comes in. And I'm going to just drop this in here because this happened the other day when I was filming one of my Boltmas videos, and I happened to pull into a charger at 10% battery, and I was about to I was just charging up enough to get home. I was about to disconnect, and I saw, hey, it's like 24 minutes or whatever. Let me run it a little bit farther. Let it run for a little bit longer. So I let it run all the way up to 26 minutes to sort of channel my inner 2027 Chevrolet Bolt, because the big claim to fame with the 2027 Chevrolet Bolt is that it's supposed to be able to go from 10% to 80% in 26 minutes. So a nice little juxtaposition where you're getting similar efficiency, similar range as this Bolt EV, but instead of going from 10% to 47% in 26 minutes, you're going to be able to go from 10% to 80% in 26 minutes. Now, that doesn't mean that you're always going to want to charge to 80%. You might only want to charge to 70% or 60% and make it a 10-minute stop, a 15-minute stop. But with the combination of the same efficiency and the ability to basically add 140 to 150 miles of higher speed freeway driving in 26 minutes, yeah, it's a no-brainer for the 2027 Chevrolet Bolt. But this is what I was going to say is maybe the bigger piece of the news. So if you haven't been awares or someone hasn't told you yet, they're shipping to dealerships already. So we know that the configurator went online. People who wanted to pre-order one, who wanted to order one early, they're shipping them to dealerships. It sounds like those pre-ordered ones already. Now, there's a sort of release edition, debut edition. It's basically like it's hard to describe because the way they made it sound is it was almost like a special package that you don't really get to adjust a whole lot with it. And that's the launch edition, right? The early release edition. And that's a limited edition. So you basically, if you want one, you need to order it early on and then you can get that. And then when the LT arrives next, it will be about $1,000 cheaper. So down to like $28,000, $29,000. Then the RS will come later and that trim could go up to $35,000, $36,000, something like that. But they're shipping now. They're heading to dealerships. I don't know if they're going to make any of those release editions available to press. Maybe I'll email. But yeah, so those will be heading to dealerships now. Like, this is way ahead of schedule. This is so far ahead of schedule. Everybody's like, oh, maybe they'll ship summer. Maybe they'll start production in spring. But here's the thing, and this I think is what was throwing people. It's a 2027 Chevrolet Bolt. So everybody, when we went to the Bolt block party, everybody was like, oh, it's going to be a year away. We're not going to have it anytime soon. Oh, ye of little faith. So in order for it to be a 2027 Chevrolet Bolt, it just needs to have started production basically in 2026. Well, we're in 2026 now. So starting production basically this month, the first week of January, second week of January, basically the beginning of winter, still puts it as a 2027 Chevrolet Bolt. But yeah, it looks like we're going to see them ramp up really, really quickly with this. And this is where I'm going to get into a little bit of a correction because even on GM Authority, I saw it. Oh, it's limited edition. It was too much clickbait for me. I didn't even read their article. I didn't want to go into it, but maybe they specified. To be fair, I'll give them credit here that in the article, maybe they clarified that, oh, the launch edition is for a limited time only. But the headline was kind of clickbaity because it was like, oh, get it while it lasts. But no, they are building Bolts to demand. So yeah, if you want the launch edition spec, you got to get it now. If you are fine with waiting for an LT, you're not going to have any limitations. And then if you're waiting for an RS, you're just going to have to wait for the RS. And I don't know the exact time frame. Maybe GM will provide us with a little bit more clarification on that. I would expect the RS to be available by this summer. And I'm hoping that the LT is available by this spring. In the meantime, the limited edition, launch edition version is shipping to dealerships. So if you have a dealership where they get an allocation, but maybe someone didn't order one, or there's a possibility of getting these. And but yeah, I think they're shipping way faster, way sooner than people realized. And it's just overall, I think, one of the best packages. I haven't talked about it yet, but I should really kind of give my thoughts on the comparison of the Nissan Leaf. One of the reasons I've been reluctant to, I don't have as much experience with the Leaf platform. It appears to be limited in release, whereas I think GM is going to just open the floodgates with the 2027 Chevrolet Bolt, and we're just going to see them again build to demand. I think it might actually be the #1 best-selling EV in the United States in 2026. It's very possible. If they're already starting production now, and they can ramp rapidly and ramp to demand, it could easily be the #1 best-selling EV model in the U.S. In 2026. So you heard it here first. You heard the EPA range here first. You heard the charging speed here first. Oh, I'm just knocking them down. Hopefully I can keep it going. But anyway, I wanted to put this out there, kind of a Boltmas interlude, if you will, because right now they sent that notice out as I was getting back from my last Boltmas video, processing that, editing it, trying to upload it. This is a big one. Visiting Santa took nearly 2 hours, so this one might actually jump ahead of that in terms of an update, just to get this video out. But I'd love to hear what you think. Are you excited about the launch edition 2027 Chevrolet Bolt? Are you waiting for like an LT or RS? Are you being misled by some of these headlines and stories saying it's a limited release? Yeah, just as always, thank you for watching.